Hi there, this is Erica Merrill, and I'm the founder of Perfect Legal Video, and I am very excited to welcome you to this webinar today. Now, if you are a bankruptcy attorney, you are in luck because I am going to give you so many fantastic ideas about videos and interview topics that you can use in your own marketing content. Now, even if you don't use us to do the interviews and do the video shoots, you can still use these topics and you'll really be happy with some of the new ideas that I have in here. Some old ideas, some new ideas, but let's see what the ideas are. Okay, so first, here's the title card. These are all for bankruptcy. And we are going to first start with the 7 essential videos. Now, this can be used for any business, really. I think that every single business should have these types of videos in their marketing content. Now let's see what they are. Well, let's talk about the 7 essential videos. I'm just going to touch on them here because I have some more in-depth slides coming up. But the Why Work With Us is designed to go over a little bit about you, sell yourself on your stats, maybe talk about how many people you've helped or how much money you've discharged, all of that stuff is really great. Why you got into the business. Most importantly, overcome some objections and have a call to action. We have a whole formula for this. So if you're working with us, that's something we help you do is come up with these scripts. FAQ videos, we've got a whole slide on that coming up too, but generally the questions that you get the most when you're sitting down with someone in an initial consult, that's going to be the one, those are going to be the ones that you want to use. How to hire a bankruptcy attorney. That's a fantastic one because you can really sprinkle in all of the things that you do that you know that your competition doesn't do. Bankruptcy myths. I don't do too much on the other slides about this, but just think of it this way. Think of every prospect as somebody that has never been to an attorney before, and all they've ever seen about attorneys is what they have seen on TV and what their neighbor or their cousin or whoever else had done with their bankruptcy. And there's a lot of misinformation. It's like a game of telephone. People, all lined up in a line and, repeating the message over and over again until the last message is completely different from the first message. You want to correct that as soon as possible. Process videos, I've got a slide on that. You're going to love it. Landing page videos. If you are giving away a book or any other lead magnet, you really should have and consider having videos on those landing pages so that you can up your results. Staff introductions, if you have time for that, the key staffers should have a video just introducing themselves and talking about why they like working with you. Okay, so moving on to our next slide. All right, the best FAQs. I'm gonna have to move myself over here. Okay, the best FAQs. I'll let you take a minute to look these over. They are great. Now, these are some of the FAQs that I actually do on my video days, and I have done several of these videos for many of my bankruptcy attorney clients. So they're pretty general. I mean, we can do some really fun ones too, but you want to have the general questions answered. And here they are. I mean, typically, can I get rid of taxes? Lots of questions about rebuilding credit. I've got another few really awesome slides on that later on. What are the different types of bankruptcy? Obviously, you're going to go over Chapter 7, Chapter 13. If you do any other bankruptcy work, you're going to go over that. Lots of questions around, what to do with bankruptcy and divorce. Student loan debt, people want to get that written off. I know that doesn't typically happen, but they don't know that. So that's a great question to answer. What is an automatic stay? Well, that's their magic bullet for a little while, right? But you want to explain that to them because a lot of them are feeling stressed. They haven't slept in a long time. They've just been up worrying. They get calls constantly. They can't even answer their phone. So this is why you want to explain to them what an automatic stay will do for them. All right. Also keeps people in their homes, right? So we want to talk about all that stuff. What can I keep? Everyone wants to know what they can keep. There is a myth out there, and you should put this in your myth video, that you lose everything. You can never buy a house again. You can never get a car. That is why it is very important for you to answer these questions. Can I file for bankruptcy more than once? Yeah, sometimes people do. Do I need an attorney? This is a great one to always put in, because people sometimes get the idea that they can do this on their own, and not to be negative, but that can cost them tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars if they do things wrong. Plus, you can fill out the paperwork 100 times faster than they can, and you understand everything that's going on. Have they gone to court every day? Did they go to law school? No, I mean, these are big decisions, so the price really shouldn't be a big deal. And perhaps you even have a payment plan, who knows? But they are going to be saving so much money in the long run by using an attorney. So you definitely pay for yourselves. Let's see here. How do I handle creditor harassment? Oops, I guess I have the automatic stay in there twice. I liked it so much. I know, I've been working a long time today. I'm sorry about that. All right, let's move on. Next one. Okay, these are some of the process videos, and there's many, many more, but I just put a few up here. We can't wait to meet you. That's an appointment welcome. And so give someone an idea of what to expect. Also, how many times is an appointment not shown? This is going to make your appointments a lot stickier. The thank you for hiring us video is really giving them a 10,000-foot overview of what's going to happen in the coming weeks when they work with you. And that's another thing that needs to be stickier. Sometimes people might sign up with you and then they end up working with another attorney. And, one of the biggest complaints people get about attorneys is that, oh, they didn't get back to me. Well, I mean, you're going to want to really keep in touch with your clients and keep them on board. What is a meeting of creditors? I mean, these are like, if there's anything that you feel like you are repeating over and over again and you think, man, I wish I could clone myself, this is a great way to do it. Make a video is definitely a way of cloning yourself. Plus, when they come in and meet you, sometimes it's just like drinking from a fire hose. I mean, that's kind of a cliche, but I really do like that visual, because that's what it's like. They don't know the law. It's easy for you. You've been talking about it for 20 years. This is the first time they've heard any of this stuff. So having a video they can review later is good. Plus, sometimes the decision maker isn't there, and they can pass on a video rather than give that person all of the wrong information, even though you told them the right information in the meeting. All right. Congratulations, you've just been discharged. Now what? That's a really good one and hopeful. That's when you're talking about building your credit up again and maybe not making the same mistakes again so that you don't have to file bankruptcy twice. And then any paperwork information that you might want to add in there. Okay. Debt topics. Oh boy, there's a lot. Understanding debt. I mean, what you should know about this slide, and I'm not going to go through all of this, is just that people don't always know all of the ins and outs about debt. And even going back simply just to define debt, I mean, how awesome is that? It's great. And it's something that, some people need to hear. Not you for sure. And then that's a mistake a lot of people make, is that they just assume that since they know about it, that everybody knows about it. But that is absolutely not true. Secured and unsecured debt, we talk about why what are the numbers, how much do we actually owe? Some people just aren't good at that. So this is really a great way. And think having charts and whiteboarding and that sort of thing. Graphs and slides, all of that is going to help. Talking about credit scores, credit reports. All right, now we're going to talk about consumer debt topics. Okay, I'm going to have to move where I'm going again. Going over here. Okay, credit cards, real estate, and student loans. I mean, this is a pretty self-explanatory slide, really talking about some of the things that people get in trouble with and they get behind on. Credit cards is just a slippery slope sometimes. You can start charging things up, and with the high interest rates, if you're making the minimum payment, you can make that minimum payment the rest of your life and never pay that credit card off and never improve your credit. If your credit cards are maxed out, obviously they're going to be bringing your credit score down. So what would happen if you're able to wipe out that credit card debt and start fresh, and within a year to a year and a half be back up in the 700s for a credit score because you don't have any debt at all? It's just amazing, as opposed to working for years to pay off the credit cards and make minimum payments and just never get out of that ditch that you're digging. Boy, did I say that you need to be positive? Yes, it is positive. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Real estate, same situation, maybe not as bad as credit cards, but if you own a lot of real estate and you're behind, you'd have everything taken away. It's pretty scary when you could be kicked out of your home. Student loans, same things. I mean, student loans aren't discharged, but people have questions about them. And if people have questions about them and it's your area of expertise, you should have a video explaining the answers. All right, we're moving on. Consumer debt. So these are just kind of hodgepodge mix of different types of debt. So things like auto loans, buying versus leasing, the ins and outs of payday loans, which are really bad because they're high interest. Medical debt, I mean, that's a scary kind of debt that just, falls in your lap one day and it's totally not your fault sometimes. You're paying off somebody else's medical debt sometimes. And I mean, you can't always foresee when you have a medical issue that's going to cost you tons of money. And if you don't have the right insurance to cover that, and gosh, insurance doesn't always cover it anyway, even if you have good insurance. So it gets scary. If you lose your job and you're not working because of a medical issue, then, it's another slippery slope. All right, let's see, pros and cons of personal loans, how to avoid tax debt is great, how utility bills can affect your debt. These are all really great topics. Paying off debt and staying out of debt. I mean, I know that a lot of this, you may feel at first has nothing to do with you, but really being, the expert on all things that have to do with bankruptcy and debt, and yes, even being, in the right way of how to spend money and teaching people how to do that, that is going to help you a lot. So here are some of those topics that you can talk about. All right. So here comes some of the fun. Now, I do a lot of individual interviews with attorneys, lots of interviews every single week. But I really do encourage the attorneys to do some panel discussions because it really does add another texture to your information. And here are some really cool ideas on what you can do for panel discussions. I'm gonna have to move me again. All right. Ooh. Here we go. I'm moving me. Here we are. All right. So I love having panel discussions with several different types of attorneys. Sometimes I'll have a panel discussion with the same type of attorney. So Valentine's Day this year, I did dating tips from divorce attorneys, which was an awesome video. And then we had another panel with bankruptcy, divorce, and business. And boy, did we have a great time. We had 3 attorneys, one from each type of law, and we had a list of questions, much like the questions that you see on this slide. And, they just really have to do with some of the same topics that you usually talk about, but with a very special and complicated twist of having another layer of something that is going on. So if you need to file for bankruptcy and you're in the process of going through a divorce, there are just a myriad of questions to answer there. What if you own a business and you're going through a divorce? There's another whole bunch of questions there. All right, I like this one. Invite your staff. You guys can all sit around and talk about how great you are. You can talk about how things work, and you can talk about, how you got there, and, what are some of the special things that you do for your clients that possibly they won't get anywhere else, even if it's just the great coffee or cookies that you have. I know some people have, home-baked cookies that waft through the house, the office, and they give them to their clients. I know some people have a really great coffee, and, all of that, and it really adds to the experience. And you can joke around about that, but getting down to all seriousness, you are the expert. You are very empathetic to what they're going through. You are not going to make them feel bad about themselves and say, you messed up, you didn't spend your money the right way, you should have done this instead. I mean, that they're so afraid that someone is going to do that they will just not come in and get help because of it. I bet some people that also won't go to a doctor for those same reasons. Invite your clients. I mean, it would be completely awesome if your client would come on and talk about, what you did for them. And I was thinking of even having a cartoon with like avatars. So if someone really doesn't want to say their name or have their real face out there, you can do something with an avatar where they talk about what was so great about them. All right. Oops, there we go. And then talking about, in those topics, talking about kind of like a case study where, like, well, why did you come in? What was your life like? Make sure that you're talking about how they feel, and using sight, sound, touch. I wasn't sleeping. I almost divorced we almost got a divorce. The calls just kept coming in. I couldn't concentrate at work because, I was so stressed out. And then once this was, done, my life changed. There's a lot of things that change when you can sleep again, believe me. I think that's my last one. So this was kind of a quick, but I think a really great webinar on, what you can do to improve your business here. Okay, by using these, great interview topics as well as, video topics for your marketing. And if you have, of course, any questions about how to use these things in your marketing to get lots of organic leads, please give us a call. Our contact information is on here, and we are looking forward to helping you out. Even if we just talk and give you some more great ideas, that's fine. We can also do all of this for you and make it run like clockwork. So give us a call here at Perfect Legal Video, and we'll help you out. All right, I will talk to you soon. Tune in for our next webinar on marketing with videos. All right, have a great day.